Welcome back. So today what we're going to be doing is making a silver nitrate solution. Our albumen paper has been double coated and it's dried, so it's ready to go. And we're going to be working with the silver nitrate crystals, so we have to be really careful. The silver, if it gets on your skin, it will start to stain and can absorb through the skin, so we have to be really cautious. So we're going to use goggles, the surgical gloves, and also the mask. And we just want to be really careful that we don't get any of that on us. Also, especially the eyes, that they can really become damaged from the silver nitrate. So we're going to be mixing that up and get ready to start sensitizing our paper. So we're going to get started making our silver nitrate solution. It's going to be a 12% silver nitrate, and we're going to be making 250 milliliters. So to start, let's go ahead and start with the water. And we're going to add 200 milliliters of distilled water to our graduated cylinder. So now that we have that weighed, we're going to go ahead and add that to our distilled water. Once all of the crystals are dissolved, then we'll go ahead and add the remaining amount of water to make it 250 milliliters. So we'll just add the last little bit of water. There we go, 250 milliliters. We'll give it another stir. I'm just going to place our stirring stick on a folded piece of paper just to keep it from contaminating our working surface. There we go, and we'll get the lid on. It's always a good idea to label what it is that you've made and also put a date on it. So we'll go ahead and write on here 12% silver. So here we are back at our coating station on the plexiglass. The reason we're using plexiglass and not doing it on some of the other surfaces is as we apply the water, it's going to not absorb any of the water, and so it'll keep things kind of clean. So we're just going to lay this over the back, and we've tried to keep the paper towel as smooth as possible, and that way we can kind of just smooth it out and press some of the water into the back. So it's been a little over 3 minutes. We're going to go ahead and remove this piece of paper towel off of this sheet of paper. Once again, make sure that it's been kind of smooth on there, and we'll go ahead and move it to our other sheet of paper. And so while we're getting the other sheet of paper into the silver and hanging up onto the drying rack, this one will have a chance to absorb the water as well. Like when we did the albumen, we're going to want to kind of curl this back slightly. So we're going to kind of ease the edge away from, notice if there's little dips like here, that's going to allow silver to pour right over. So what we want to try to do is to take this edge and kind of curl it back. We don't need to create a big fold, but we want to create a little bit of an edge so that as we lay it into the silver bath, that it doesn't immediately allow the silver to flow over the back and kind of stain the back side. We're going to attempt to place this in the bath as evenly as possible. We're going to kind of bow the center slightly so that the middle part will touch first, and then as soon as it kind of makes contact with the silver, we're going to kind of release it and allow it to drop and hope that we don't get any on the back side. Okay, and then as it lays in there, then those curled edges we can start to ease down into the silver so that they get coated as well. So I'm going to go ahead and lift this out of the tray, and again, when you lift it out, we want to hope, again, not to dunk it under so that we don't get silver on the back. So I'm going to start with one of the corners, and I'm wearing gloves so it's okay to put my hand in there, and then gently lift it up, And you'll notice we now have a clean sheet of coated paper. And because we want to reuse the silver over and over again, allow as much of it to drip off as possible into the tray. Once most of the silver is kind of dripped off, then we'll carry this over and hang it up. And we'll use the push pins again and tack it to the cording. Okay, we're going to go ahead and lay our second sheet of paper in. I'll try to do this so that you can see the edge. As soon as it makes contact, we'll release and then go ahead and press down so that it makes contact with all surfaces. Okay, so there's a tiny amount that's starting to leak over this edge as I start to press it down. So to avoid getting that and having it pour across my whole sheet of paper, what I want to do is make sure when I go to lift this out, then I'm going to lift it towards that edge. So I'm going to grab this corner here and raise it out and allow that little bit that did get on there to at least drip away from the center of the sheet of paper so that it doesn't end up giving us a line on the back, which will darken that area of the print. Okay, so we'll just hang this one up in the same fashion as the other one and allow those to. So here we have our two sheets of paper, and again we're just going to take a piece of paper towel and gently kind of run it along this bottom edge and absorb up some of that extra silver. And this will just help two things. It'll help it dry a little bit more quickly. If we have a big puddle of silver down at the bottom, it's going to take longer for it to actually dry. And also it'll prevent some of the dripping that may occur. And again, with the wet silver, we want to be really cautious that we're not going to get it on it. Since that's all that we're going to be sensitizing today, let's go ahead and we're going to put away the silver. And so we'll just use a funnel to help facilitate that. These trays are actually really great for pouring, but just to be safe, we'll go ahead and use the funnel and we'll pour this silver back into the bottle. So the final thing is just to wash up with the silver, since there may be some splashing when we go to wash out both of these, both the tray and the funnel. Would be a good idea to keep the eye goggles on so that if there is something that splashes up, it doesn't get in your eye. Again, silver can damage the eye if it gets in there, so we really want to be cautious and make sure that we wear protective gear.